Hey everybody, welcome to the Oakland-Alameda County Coliseum Joint Powers Authority special meeting regarding the Oakland Roots for March 15th of 2024. I have turned the sound down because they have music in the background and nothing is happening, and the music could produce a copyright issue for Zenny 62 Media that I would prefer, even though I can deal with it, I would prefer not to. So I'll wait for them to assemble, then they will turn the sound off, because you can see that's the county council responsible for this meeting coming in right now. And I'm going to make sure this is posted on social media. So I see that's Henry's face there. Okay. Hey, right, let's see here. I am going to, there's Henry. Henry Gardner is the executive director. Let me, okay. There's also no staff report for this. Well, I did not see a staff report for this. So I'm wondering what's going on. I see a resolution, but generally we have a staff report. There's no staff report. That's crazy. We're getting really lax in how we do things. Just mailing it in. Just mailing it in. Okay. That's out there. Let me then also put it on Facebook. And there. So Facebook. And we put it on the web page, or the Facebook page of Save Oakland Sports there, which is an unfortunate name, but because you know what, we didn't do much saving of anything. With maybe we tried, though. I have to say we did try. So Save Oakland Sports here. And there. Okay, there's the Roots on there. All right. So one of us single-handedly worked to get Oakland to the 2005 Super Bowl competition as a finalist. That was not you. One of us is a Oakland Restaurants Week sponsor. My company. I'm responding to something. Not you. You are not even in Oakland. Oh, you. Not you. I can go on, but my credentials far exceed, yeah, far tower over you like Godzilla over Tokyo. There. And I should actually make this into a video. In fact, I will. Ray Perez. I'll call him out. Ray's trying to say that I'm anti-Oakland because of my position regarding the A's. I'm not anti-Oakland. I'm anti us doing bad things. But I'm going to nail Ray to the wall, as they say, with a little video. Ray Perez was once Dr. Death. Hey, Ray, this is Zenny. Hey, first of all, I saw your note on Save Oakland Sports, and you're totally wrong. First of all, you cannot even claim to care about Oakland. You don't have the distinction of making Oakland's first blog regarding Oakland government or culture. You don't have a company that's currently a sponsor for Oakland Restaurant Week. You didn't come to within 3 NFL votes of bringing 2005 Super Bowl to Oakland. You didn't establish the Oakland Downtown Coalition. You didn't even lay the groundwork for the use of tax increment financing to keep the A's in Oakland at Howard Terminal. Trouble is, the city didn't do it like they should. So I can say that you're more anti-Oakland than anybody else I know. In fact, really you are, okay? You might be pro-Raiders and maybe A's, but you're not pro-Oakland, man. So don't get it twisted, all right? And subscribe to Zenny62 on YouTube. See, that's how you do things, folks. You make videos, you post them, all right? That's it. Because it's fun. Because it's fun. Now, getting to the matter of this situation, we find that, guess what? There's no staff report for this. There is no staff report. Notes. Done. Here. Making this. We have, 1 minute before they start. Now, if they started on time, at the top of the hour, all these seats would be filled, okay? But guess what? They're not here, okay? At all. They're not here. I'm writing Ray Perez. I, Zenny, have done more, far more for Oakland than you ever have. Okay, so that's my title there. And I'm going to let them know it. Boom. I highly encourage you, and that includes my clients, always make video blogs. Hey, first of all, I saw your note. Always. I had to add in your life. Okay. Add description. I thought I added it. Boom. All right. Cancel, not discarding those changes. Add details. Let's see. I have an idea. I think I'll add a little photo to this. I think so. Like that, trying to position myself like, right this. There, did it. Okay. All right, so we're waiting. Okay. All right, so if you're here now and you're wondering why we're here, chances are you probably know why we're here, but at any rate, don't you hate getting those texts from people and they always ask you if, oh, this is any? Like, what they want you to do is respond so that they know they have the number. I always block people who do that because anybody who knows, it's me, right? Okay, now, by the way, look at the time. So let's see if they have. Oh, now here we are. Okay, we are here. All right, turn up the audio settings. Let's go.
Lean closer to the mic so the folks listening online can hear us well. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to my colleagues for arriving timely. Closer to the mic so the folks listening online can hear us well. And I do see also our executive director is with us on the Zoom. So with that, I will allow the meeting to be formally called to order. Thank you.
Good morning. Welcome to the meeting of Oakland-Alameda County Coliseum Authority, Friday, March 15th, 2024 at 9:04 a.m. If members of the public would like to speak on items, when the time to address items on the agenda is announced, you will be prompted to raise your hand so that we may see the number of speakers in the queue. We will note the last name in the container before we take comments. The host will call the identifiers of each raised hand one by one to allow comment. Please do not raise your hand before the invitation to speak. The host will lower the hands of those who raise their hands before the invitation. All members of the public at the time of the announcement will have the opportunity to comment on the agenda items. Members of the public will also have the opportunity to comment on items not on this agenda at the end of the meeting during open forum. Now I'll move on to roll call.
Yes, thank you.
Recording in progress.
Commissioner Beam.
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner Halbert.
Present.
Thank you. Commissioner Iglesias.
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner Jenkins.
Present. Good morning.
Good morning. Commissioner Thompson is excused. Commissioner Vukasin is excused. Vice Chair Miley is excused. And Chair Kaplan.
Here.
Thank you. 5 present.
Thank you so much. So we do have a quorum present. Thank you all so much for making it. Also, we've been informed that some of my colleagues have some time-sensitive things to get to, so we will endeavor to be timely in the handling of our work today. And so with that, I wanted us to unmute and bring up our Executive Director, Mr. Henry Garner, so that he may present to us item 3, which actually I will allow Director Roseman to formally read it in, but wanted to make sure Mr. Garner knows he's about to be up and has access to sound on the Zoom.
For item 3, new business, resolution authorizing the Executive Director of the Oakland-Alameda County Coliseum Authority and AEG Management Oakland LLC, a Delaware limited liability company, a division of ASM Global, to negotiate and execute an event license agreement between the authority and Oakland Pro Soccer LLC for the Oakland Roots and Soul Sports Clubs to play their 2025-2026 soccer season home matches in the stadium at the Coliseum complex. Mr.
Thank
Gardner.
you so much. And I want to really thank and appreciate the incredible hard work of the dedicated staff and team that has gone into not only this item, but all the incredible work that has been going on in recent months to increase bookings and events here that, of course, create jobs and revenue in our community. And this item that is before us today is another amazing example of the growth and excitement and interest in our region, in our city, and in this facility. Mr. Gardner, you are welcome to present the item.
Good morning and thank you. I trust that I can be heard clearly.
Yes.
Good. First, I want to apologize for not being with you in person. I will remind you that this date was scheduled well in advance, but then we canceled. I then changed my plans to join my family for an event here in Florida, and then we changed it back. So I changed my reservations again. And the airlines finally got tired of this. So I am in Florida. Good morning and thank you for allowing me to brief you on what this item is and where we have been. First, the resolution authorizes the executive director and AEG to negotiate a special event agreement as defined in the amended and restated management agreement with Roots and Soul. It authorizes the executive director and AEG to execute, consistent with JPA management agreement, subject to review and approval as to form by the Joint Council. For well over a year, Roots approached us about the potential use of the Coliseum complex in some form. You will recall that we first looked at parking lot C. That did not work. And then we looked at, can this event take place in the stadium, consistent with our operational needs? And pursuant to that, we have had numerous meetings with Roots. We have gone through exhaustively the operational aspects of this, how it would work, to structure it in such a way that it does not impair our ability to carry out other activities at the site. And we've done all of this with utmost concern about the financial terms to make sure that they're consistent with no free. All expenses have to be covered, and we hope that we can make some money. There are no guarantees in this life, well, except there are two, but neither is applicable in this case. Except for those two, we have done our best and will continue to do our best to make sure that this is a successful event, both in terms of its operations and in terms of the finances. We approached this pursuant to the Joint Powers Agreement, Management Agreement. And we have tried to stay within what I call the four corners of that agreement. And they are these. In order to be consistent and to conform with that provision, an event may not exceed 1 year. That's one corner. It may not be more than 60 days. It's another. And it may not be more than 15 consecutive events. So with that, I will ask Ms. Jefferson if she would show the PowerPoint that I plan to speak from.
I need to be enabled to share screen.
I believe only the host has screen share capabilities.
Okay.
Okay, you should now be able to share screen. Thank you, team.
Thank you, Ms. Jefferson. As I've stated, these matches, should they happen, will take place in the stadium. Consistent with those four corners that I described, the events will occur between March 1st, 2025 and February 27, 2026, not exceeding 1 year. One of the four corners. It will not have more than 34 events. 60 are allowed. Another corner. It may not be more than 15 consecutive days. There will only be 6 consecutive days. What we have been negotiating with Roots, and we have been doing it pursuant to those provisions that I just laid out. We are negotiating a flat fee for event expenses, which will be paid every game by Roots and Soul. So we know as we're going along how we're doing. We and Roots have no control over the facility fee. Well, actually we do, which is 10%, and that will be applied to all tickets sold. That's not negotiable. That's what it is. Of course, the business license tax is applied to all tickets, and that's not a negotiable item. The parking tax will be applied to all parking passes that are sold. We have been, because of the fact that we have not had in the past events, soccer events particularly, so we have no past experience. We have then been negotiating how we come up with terms that work both for us and for Roots in terms of any profit sharing. They're bringing activities to the site on their own that they're promoting, they're advertising, and they're looking for some ways to get some revenues from this, but we said, oh, but only if we meet certain thresholds. Right now, that is between about $1.5 million to $2 million. That's not settled yet. We won't know that actually until we've gone game by game. Halfway through, we'll probably have a better read of that. One big item, the biggest of all of them actually, we do not have a soccer field. And so who is going to pay for this soccer field and who's going to install it? We have said, no, we're not paying for it and we're not installing it. You have to pay for it and you have to install it. And one of the issues around installation, which gave me pause, is there are very specific criteria that must be met under the soccer standards. And I have pushed that back on Roots. You install it. If it meets the standards, we're all clear. If it doesn't meet the standards, you have to make it meet the standards. That is not on us. And you pay for it. And then the final part is we are still working the language. And there are edits still to be done. But for the core items, we're there. Some issues were raised early on about whether or not this really fits the four corners. I've just told you what the four corners are. But as those were raised, we have addressed those, we have either modified them or we've taken them out completely. And my opinion, as forthrightly as I can tell you, what we have negotiated to this date is consistent with those four corners. I will respond to any questions or comments that you might have.
Thank you so much for your presentation, Mr. Gardner, and for your work and dedication, and to everyone in the team here who has been a part of making this happen and bringing events and activity here. I do want to make sure that we respect everyone's time and get us to conclusion before some of the board members have to leave. And of course, as pursuant to the Brown Act and our practice, we do have to take public speakers as well. And so members of the public who are on Zoom would click the raise hand feature in order to speak. I also want to make sure that we have clearly on the record that there have been a great many emails sent to the JPA via the staff in support of having Roots and Soul here. And I believe there are also such comments being placed through the Q&A function on the Zoom as well. So let us find out how many hands raised there are for this item. Do we need to send back, and we will also take questions.
Rebecca,
Commissioner Beam.
yes, is there a way that we can get a printed copy of this PowerPoint, or that what Henry just discussed, so I could look at it while we were talking?
Yes, and also Ms. Jefferson, I think, can keep the screen up, but we could do that, yes.
Thank you. Does the staff here have the copy of the PowerPoint? Can we bring that?
If not, we can do those pretty
Yes,
quickly.
thank you. The staff is bringing it, and also we can have it be on the screen, please. Thank you. How many speakers do we have?
There are 10 speakers in the queue with their hands raised.
Excellent. Thank you. In order to ensure we don't lose quorum, we're doing 1 minute per speaker on the clock. Thank you so much. And we'll have yes, there we go. It's on the screen, and the staff will bring paper copy as well. All right, we may proceed with the speakers. Thank you.
The first speaker in the queue is Zinni Abraham.
Thank you. I cannot see. Hello. I can't see the button. No button. No button. No button. No button. Hey, there's no button. No button. Rebecca, there's no button. Thank you. There was no button. Can everybody hear me? I'm going
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, outstanding. Thank you. Two things. First of all, I didn't see a staff report with this. I know this was originally a closed session issue, but now it's open, and there was no, unless I missed it. I'm happy to be wrong here, but I didn't see a general staff report. I understand Henry's read off this PowerPoint, but is there a reason we didn't get a staff report? Just curious. A. B, my concern is that this is once again piecemeal. In other words, it deals with a single issue of the Roots playing in the stadium, which is fantastic, but it doesn't address, for example, having a task force to determine, if the Roots can come back the next year, how that might work out, where they're at with their current pursuit of a Malibu lot. So I'm saying that if we're going to do this as an economic development issue, and really it is, we need to structure out how we're going to proceed with this rather than what we tend to do, which is, this here and there kind of approach without an eye toward the future of how we want this to look as a solution to their problem, but also, frankly speaking, a solution to our problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh,
Are the mics on? Yes, so Director Roseman has the clock which will ring as your time expires. Thank you. We call the next speaker.
the next speaker in the queue has the last name of Turner. You have 1 minute to speak.
Good morning, commissioners. Thank you for allowing us to speak. We are in support of Roots Soul's proposal. I'm born and raised in Oakland. I've been here before Coliseum was actually built. I used to ride my dirt bike over there. And we currently own the lot that butts up to the Malibu lot. And we encourage that the proposal be approved and also have a plan for them to move to the Malibu lot and build it out. So I'm just saying we in support of Roots Souls playing inside of Coliseum for 2025. And we need a plan for them moving forward. Thank you.
The next speaker in the queue has the last name of Leslie.
Good morning. My name is Barbara Leslie, President and CEO of the Oakland Chamber of Commerce. I'm speaking today in support of the agreement. The Oakland Roots and Soul are the embodiment of everything we as a city want and need in a professional sports team. For those of us who have attended these games and events, it takes no time to both see and feel Oakland is well represented in the stands and the Oakland pride is palpable. This is truly a community coming together for the love of the game, a team, and a commitment to Oakland first always. Oakland needs the Roots and Soul to play in Oakland. We need the jobs, we need the revenue, we need that the team generates to stay in Oakland. And we need to ensure they have a home field in Oakland both today and to accommodate their growth in the future. As a mother of soccer players who have spent decades supporting our son and daughter in this sport, I am deeply grateful for the Roots and their commitment to establishing a women's team, the Oakland Soul, with the same dedication and commitment so that all can play this beautiful game. I encourage you to support today's resolution. Let's make the same commitment to the Roots and Soul as they have made to Oakland. Thank you.
Thank you. The next person in the queue with their hand raised is Natalia. You have 1 minute to speak.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm an Oakland resident and I'm speaking in support of the resolution. Among the benefits of approving this resolution is the impact that it would have on women's soccer here in Oakland and in the East Bay. The path to pro soccer in the US is considerably narrower for women than it is for men. In the US, there are 205 NCAA Division I soccer programs for men, and there are 94 US pro soccer teams for men. For women, there are far more collegiate programs, over 300 at that same level, but last year there were only 14 pro teams. There'll be 22 later this year when another pro league begins. But Oakland Soul can be an important part of growing the women's team. Soul has an agreement with the USL to join the Super League and go pro, but that only is going to happen if they have a place to play. And so approving this resolution is going to allow them to play at the Coliseum and unlock that ability to go pro, as well as a path to pro soccer for youth, similar to Project 510.
Thank you. Your time is up. The next speaker in the queue has a last name of Behrens. You have 1 minute to speak.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commission members, and staff. This is Lindsay Behrens, President of Oakland Roots and Soul, Oakland's men's and women's soccer teams. We are thrilled at the prospect of expanding the legacy of Oakland's Coliseum to include professional men's and women's soccer. Since last fall, when Executive Director Gardner reported that the staff were pursuing events for the 2025 season at the Coliseum, we have worked diligently with Henry and the ASM staff to formulate an arrangement that would benefit the city and the county, make professional soccer viable at the Coliseum, and fit within the definition of a special event. Working together, we believe we have achieved this outcome, and we are very excited about this opportunity. We ask that the JPA support the staff's recommendation and approve the Roots and Soul as a special event. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker in the queue has the last name of Louds. You have 1 minute to speak.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Darren Lowndes. I'm the Executive Director of Housing Consortium of the East Bay, otherwise known as HCEB, and a proud Roots and Soul Sports Club member and shares owner. HCEB is based in Oakland, and we serve Alameda and Contra Costa counties. We provide permanent supportive housing and interim housing programs for our unhoused neighbors throughout both counties. Since 2020, HCB has operated Project Home Base on Hagenberger Road in the shadow of the Coliseum, and our program site also backs up to Malibu Lot. HCB really appreciates the club's commitment to the community in a way that goes way beyond sports. We especially appreciate the way the Roots and Soul have approached coming to the Coliseum area, including reviewing proposed plans with community stakeholders such as HCEB. In fact, we are so excited about them becoming a neighbor that we are working together under an Activate Oakland grant to create a community-wide celebration this summer that will include local businesses and officially welcome the Oakland Roots and Soul to the neighborhood. Allowing Roots and Soul to play at the Coliseum starting in 2025 seems like a natural and positive step.
Oh, it didn't do that, unfortunately.
Thank you. Your time is up. The next speaker in the queue has the last name of Gordon. You have 1 minute to speak.
Is the speaker unmuted?
I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm back, baby. My name's Hal Gordon. I'm a former vendor at the Coliseum. I want to thank everybody involved in all the hard work that they've done to get us here. As an owner of the Roots and as an A's fan, I want to just remind everyone that the A's have said numerous times that the Roots and Soul and A's could coexist starting in the 2025 season if the A's do get make an agreement with Oakland and Alameda to stay there. There's no reason to think that it's one or the other. Both can be there. And so there's really no reason to not allow the Roots and Soul to be at the Coliseum. And I want to thank everybody's hard work for continuing to negotiate hard with the A's to make sure that Oakland gets an expansion team in baseball. And we have a great professional soccer team and a great professional baseball team here for many years to come. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. The next speaker in the queue. It's the last name of Cannon. You may unmute yourself and you have 1 minute to speak.
Hello. I assume you can all hear me now?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Dave Cannon. I've been a longtime resident of Oakland and operated a business in town. And I just want to back up everything that's been said so far. Very excited about the Roots coming to town. It just seems like a natural fit for them to be able to play in the Coliseum and set up a strong future. So I just thanks for all the work and appreciate and look forward to an agreement. Thanks.
Thank you. The next speaker in the queue, CFI Development. You may unmute yourself and you have 1 minute to speak.
Thank you so much, Commissioners. Happy Friday, everybody. My name is Bo Blanchard. Sorry, that's my work Zoom. I just want to also echo the earlier sentiments about the Oakland Soul and Roots, mainly for civic pride. Everything that Oakland's been dealing with, I think this is one of the big, bright, shining lights for us to get behind, and it's really inspiring what they've done both for the community and just in terms of growing the fan base. And I also would very much want you guys to stand firm against the A's and their attempts and work with them to keep a baseball team in Oakland again for us to be able to hang our hat on and to be enjoy with generations to come. So yes, I just echo those sentiments as well. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. The next speaker in the queue has the last name of Bobbitt. You may unmute yourself and you have 1 minute to speak.
Hi, thank you for allowing me to speak today. My name is Ray Bobbitt of AASEG. On May 12th, 2023, the Roots, Soul, and AASEG announced a cooperation agreement to work together on the future of Oakland and the future of the Coliseum site. And that was directly in support of the Malibu site as a modular stadium. We believe, obviously, that this opportunity that the Roots and Soul have to play at the Coliseum for the 2025 season will help facilitate that possibility. And so we just wanted to make sure that there was clarity from our perspective with respect to our cooperation agreement. We wanted to reinforce that. And so we are speaking on behalf of that. And so thank you for the opportunity and have a great Friday.
Thank you. The next speaker in the queue is David D. You may unmute yourself and you have 1 minute to speak.
Hi, my name is David D. I'm a longtime East Bay native. Oakland A's have been my team since a child, and I just want you guys to know how much they mean to me. It's important to keep baseball rooted in Oakland and not let them rip the heart of Oakland out. There's not much left in Oakland, and it's important that we have these things in the city. Thank you.
Thank you. The next person in the queue with their hand raised has the last name of Wise, AASEG. May unmute yourself and you have 1 minute to speak.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Samantha Allen Wise. I am an Oakland resident for 55 years, and I'm excited about that. I am in support of the Roots Soul proposal. I think this is a great way to make Oakland great again. I am 1,000% with them. I love everything they stand for in the community. And what a way to revive the Hagenberger corridor by allowing them to use that space, especially with us having no teams there as of right now, except for the A's. But Samantha Wise and family and the community, we are riding with the Roots Soul. So that is my vote, and I'm in it to win it. Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you. The next speaker in the queue with their hand raised has the last name of Schiller. You may unmute yourself and you have 1 minute to speak.
Is the speaker unmuted? Are you not finding him?
I believe the speaker may have put his hand down.
Okay. Are there any other?
Yes, there are. The next speaker in the queue with their hand raised is Mike D. You may unmute yourself and you have 1 minute to speak.
Good morning, members of the JPA and Oakland City Council. And supervisors, you should very much go forward with this proposal by the Oakland Roots, with obviously a lot of our teams leaving or talking about leaving. The Oakland Roots is kind of a gathering place for us sports fans, and we're really looking forward to bringing them back from Hayward to Oakland. It would be really nice if this can develop into something greater. We have NBA, NFL, and MLB Hall of Famers coming from Oakland, and I think it's time to have a soccer Hall of Famer come from Oakland, and the Roots that's where it starts. The Roots and Souls, that's where it starts, especially in the women's game. To echo what previous comment has, lack of path to pro, and I really would like Oakland to kind of not only just be a big rising star in the soccer world for the men's game, but especially for the women's game. And I look forward to continued cooperation. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker in the queue with their hand raised has the last name of Keo. Pardon me if I mispronounced it. You may unmute yourself and you have 1 minute to speak.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for considering this resolution. I am an Oakland resident, proud supporter of the Roots and Soul. Obviously, as we're all well aware, we are losing some of our community spaces as people not from the city take those spaces and teams away, and the Roots and Soul are firmly rooted in the city. As other speakers have said, they provided a much needed community gathering space, not just for people from Oakland, but for people across the East Bay. So having them play at the Coliseum next year would be a huge win for everyone. I think the excitement in the community for this is incredible, and I hope that you'll support it. And I look forward to going with all of you to the first Roots and Soul home openers at the Coliseum next year.
Thank you. The next speaker in the queue with their hand raised has the last name of Leon. You may unmute yourself and you have 1 minute to speak.
Hello, good morning. Am I coming in clear? Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, my name is Jorge Leon, longtime Oakland resident. Love the city, passionate about soccer and all sports, honestly. And I just want everyone to understand that this is very critical, and
and a very positive thing that can happen to a community by bringing back the Roots. Not only for the Roots, but also for soccer growth in our region. And with the World Cup coming here, I think this is a great opportunity, and look forward to having numerous tailgates. And again, I appreciate all the hard work that's been put on by both the Roots and the JPA and the county and city of Oakland. Thank you.
Thank you. The last speaker in the online queue has the last name of Ames. You may unmute yourself and you have 1 minute to speak.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I've been a long time East Bay resident. I participated in club soccer, charity soccer, Little League, and across all of this, you occasionally see the A's involved, but you've always seen the Roots involved, not just on their organizational level, but helping small soccer charities, helping club sports, bringing others, athletes, young athletes, opportunities to play soccer. And that's what I want to emphasize. It's not just about the Roots making money at the Coliseum, but they're heavily involved in the community, and we need to support that in Oakland. So I urge you to allow them to continue to expand their influence and support the great things of Oakland. Thank you.
Thank you. And our final speaker is in person. It's Mayor Sheng Tao.
Good morning, commissioners. This is Mayor Sheng Tao. I don't think that I have to explain why we should vote yes to move forward with the Roots and Soul. They have been a strong community partner in all aspects, whether it's directly with the community, with the city, with the county, or with different organizations. More so than that, we are always talking about how activation makes us safer. And moving forward with this would mean that we would have that activation, would mean that we would get that revenue, that stream of revenue. I think that at its core, we have to award good behavior. And this is the epitome of great behavior, meaning the partnership, meaning the investments directly into community, being about what they say. And so I'm here today to really hope that you all support this and move this agenda item forward so that we can get Oakland activated and move forward towards generating revenues. This is what Oakland deserves. And so I'm just going to keep it quick because many of the people who already spoke have already spoke more eloquently about the why. And so I hope that you can vote yes to move this forward. Thank you.
Thank you. And pardon me, we do have one more speaker. It would be City Administrator Johnson.
Good morning, Justin Johnson, City Administrator for the City of Oakland. I too want to just acknowledge and thank and look forward to a yes vote on this initiative. This is certainly an opportunity for Oakland. And I think about the cultural amenities that this community brings and what this opportunity presents for this part of our, not just this district, but this community. I think about the World Cup coming to this country next year. This is an exciting flag that is being planted in the city of Oakland. So I'm delighted to see where this goes going forward. And this is also an opportunity as we think about our broader economic development strategy and the work that our community and our team is doing in City Hall. This presents a phenomenal opportunity for us. So I'm excited and certainly look forward to a yes vote going forward. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes all of our speakers on this item.
Well, thank you so much to all of the speakers, both online and in person. As we discuss bringing the largest and fastest growing sport in the world to this facility in a manner that grows jobs and revenue and increases opportunity and has been pointed out does not impede any other potential opportunity from taking place here. And we have done soccer before. We had an exhibition game with the Mexican national soccer team, was a huge revenue night here and very successful. And so this is something that can be accomplished and I believe should be accomplished for the good of the community, the jobs, and the revenue, and the activation. Given that a couple of my colleagues have mentioned that they need to leave soon, I would like to move approval of the item.
I'll second.
Thank you.
We move into discussion.
We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions or comments on the motion before we move to the vote, since I know a couple of you have asked me to do this rapidly? Commissioner Halbert, you have the floor.
I guess some comments, but also question.
Yes.
Certainly, we have an amazing asset in the Coliseum. It's a very valuable building, needs to be maximized, needs to be activated, as was mentioned earlier. Funds generated can be used for things that the county and the city need. To the extent that it's possible to bring root soccer to coexist with other uses that allow us to maximize the value of this asset, I'm all for it. I know there's a lot of moving parts to that. I trust our team to be able to go forth and negotiate those terms, and I look forward to seeing that then come back to us at some point, or at least I look to it. Doesn't have to come back to us, even better. Godspeed to the team. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your dedication as well to making all the moving parts work. Are there any other questions or comments on the motion?
Yeah, I
Commissioner Beam.
have a couple. I'm new, so I'm not sure if this is the right place, Nicole, but my questions are, number one, about the Coliseum. How will it look? Now it's set up, last time I've been there for football, right? 50,000 seat. How do we make it look for the Roots that doesn't quite have that much of a following yet? How will the intimacy of the game feel? Have we looked at that? Have we seen any drawings or any ideas how to make it fit, 5,000 to 7,000, 10,000 fans, so we get the same feel? That's the first question. And as the athletic director at Laney College, I see the sign about field, and since we worked with the Roots when they first started, we had a lot of field issues. How are we making sure we address that? Have we gotten that far to really know, is this going to be turf? Is it going to be natural grass? How does it fit over the existing field so that we could continue to use it as a viable revenue generator and venue for other events at the Coliseum? So I think that's something to make sure, because they had to leave Laney because we did change our field, and then their field no longer was compatible. So I want to make sure that we're looking at that and have some ideas before we move forward. But I am for them being at the Coliseum, being in Oakland again, and not in Hayward. So I'm definitely for that. But I think those questions for me, I'd like those not here necessarily, but at some point talk to you and your staff about.
Thank you so much, and I know our staff have been having extensive and detailed meetings and do in fact have a plan based on opening a portion of the facility, so not having 50,000 seats open, but having the lower section open. And so are you comfortable if Nicole will talk to you after to go into more detail about that? Is that, that works for you, Nicole? Great. Okay, thank you. Seeing no other hands, we may call the roll on the motion.
Okay, for item number 3, resolution authorizing the executive director of Oakland-Alameda County Coliseum Authority and AEG Management Oakland LLC, a Delaware limited liability company, a division of ASM Global, to negotiate and execute an event license agreement between the authority and Oakland Pro Soccer LLC for the Oakland Roots and Soul Sports Clubs to play their 25-26 soccer season home matches in the stadium at the Coliseum Complex. The motion was moved by Commissioner Kaplan and seconded by Commissioner Halbert. I'll take the vote. Commissioner Beam, how do you vote?
Affirm.
Yes, it's fine.
Aye.
Aye, okay. Thank you. Commissioner Halbert.
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Iglesias.
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Jenkins.
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Thompson is excused. Commissioner Bukasan is excused. Vice Chair Miley, how do you vote?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. And Chair Kaplan, how do you vote?
Aye.
All right, thank you. That would be 6 ayes. The motion passes.
All right. Well, thank you all so very much. And I look forward to the exciting and vibrant soccer games here in the facility. Thank you all so much to everyone who put such extensive work into this, including the staff and the council and co-councils who put a lot of work into making this happen and figuring out the right way to do it. So thank you for your dedication and your guidance and your endeavors. we now go to, let you call in open forum.
Yes. The next item on the agenda is open forum. For members of the public who wish to speak on items not on the agenda, please raise your hand, and after your name is called, you will have 2 minutes to speak.
Are there any hands raised for open forum?
Hello.
Oh, no, those hands were from before. We didn't lower the hands from the previous round.
It didn't adjust. Hi, this is Zenny. It didn't adjust at all. It was just there. But nonetheless, I'm going to take 2 minutes if that's okay, Chair. Okay? Now,
hang on. Could please do the lower all hands, and then because we're showing the hands from the previous item.
I have
3 hands. Okay. So go ahead, Zenny.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chair Kaplan. I've raised this issue before regarding sea level rise, and I made it a mention of it when I gave a presentation regarding establishing enhanced infrastructure financing district. But I need to reemphasize that we do not have a plan to assure the long-term existence of the JPA in some form, like, for example, a stadium authority, so that we can then begin putting a plan in to mitigate sea level rise now. This problem is not only not going to go away, it's going to get worse. And we can't just say, oh, it's going to happen in 2050. It's going to get gradually worse. And it already cuts into any lease we may even think of for any sports organization long term. Remember, the bonding period is 45 years. So we need to change right now how we do things and toward a goal, an objective, of long-term planning so that we can better do these projects we need to get done so we can literally save parts of our city. This is crucial. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next person in the queue that had their hand was Mr. Bobbitt, but I'm not sure if you're still intending to speak.
Thank you. I think some of those hands were not actually intended to be for open forum. They may have been mistakenly from the other item. Are there any other speakers for open forum? Seeing none. That concludes our item. I want to thank my colleagues for all endeavoring to make this time and make this meeting. I know all of us have a great many things on our schedules, and so thank you for making this work. Thank you again to the staff of the city and the county and the JPA and the legal counsel for doing the work to get us here. And I will just briefly take the discretion of the chair to comment that yes, we do need to mitigate sea level rise, and that is one of many important things that we could help plan and fund through a collaborative EIFD, which the city and county are working on doing jointly, and this preparing this site for sea level rise would be one great example of something we could do together in such an endeavor. Thank you all for your work. With that, we are adjourned.
All right, so that closes out the meeting. And I'll get your comments right now. Hey, there's comments here. All right. And let me, how can that go away? It won't go away. Well, trying to make Zoom go away. Quit Zoom. All right, I quit Zoom. And now I'm back here. And I am here. Okay, now, first of all, got that. Oh, that's okay. A's have to have at least extension of the Coliseum. Not yet. Regards. Thank you. Says, this you would understand has more value in developing, has more value in a developed sports economy. That's separate. Says a soccer player or any athlete that can use their non-dominant limbs more effectively is essentially 50% more of a player. Okay. Best wishes. Okay. And recall the mayor. Yeah, we had the mayor speaking. My thought is, look, this is great for the Roots, but again, it's piecemeal. You know, everything we do it's episodic, right? This started because a group of people representing the original Oakland Roots, including Beano Nagel, went to Treva Reed, who is and still is Oakland District 7 council member. And that's how Roots became brought to our attention, at least through in the Oakland political, culture. But my point is, we don't have a professional intake. For example, if the Joint Powers Authority were a stadium authority, it would have its own staff person for planning and economic development, or staff persons that you could then bring an idea to and can be evaluated from a professional rather than just a political perspective. We have laws that are supposed to provide a firewall between politicians and the professional staff and the public. And those firewalls are too often blurred on a regular basis in the instance of the Joint Powers Authority of the Coliseum as it's operating right now. And then there's this talk that, well, it will sunset next year. Well, it's going to sunset next year, and yet we are looking at dealing with organizations like the Oakland Roots, which intend to stay around for a while. Don't you think it's a good time that we right now form the future of the JPA rather than talk about it? In other words, form it, have a resolution. What I don't like about this system is it's always a they. It's not a we. A we has a task force and it consists of people not just within the organization, but people who are part of the public. And it has a beginning and it has an end. And, we don't have that. And this has gone on for a long time. I mean, a very long time. This has been Oakland's modus operandi, in particular for the 21st century. We had task force in the 20th century when I worked for LAU. We had a task force, not a task force, but task force of different things, right? But it gave focus to the subject that we were concerned about. And we had the necessary people at the table to make sure that the objective was done. For example, I started the Oakland Downtown Coalition. Why? Because the need to build a new transit stop for AC Transit, a bus transit center, was stuck in the mud between several organizations. The City of Oakland, the Oakland Metropolitan Chamber of Commerce, and the Building Owners and Managers Association primarily. And BOMA and the Chamber of Commerce were not talking to each other at the time. So I put together the Oakland Downtown Coalition to get all these groups together in one room and the people they would have to deal with to get it done. So we grew to 45 people and we got it done. We had a kind of a memorandum of understanding that we drafted at the end. But between when we started and when we finished, I ordered catered dinner from Max's Opera Cafe with wine. And so my thought was, hey, look, normally people don't like to come to meetings like this. You even heard it there. Oh, they got things to do, which I'll get to in a second. But what we did was we gave them a raison d'etre, a reason of being, or in this case, to be there, to eat and commiserate and have some wine. And over that, people discuss issues, and what they come up with are solutions to problems. It happens all the time. I really believe in that. A little food and a little drink, alcoholic or not, go a long way toward the resolution of a problem. And that's exactly what happened. A lot of people became great friends with each other that outside were not my Oakland Downtown Coalition I put together at the behest of LAU, my boss, the mayor, that would not have happened. Okay. And then we began to get buzz, and I got a contact from one of our next to last meetings from the Oakland Police. 3 members of the Oakland Police office came to our meeting saying, "Is Zinni Abraham here?" I said, "Yes." I said, "Well, there's a group of people outside that want to talk with you." Okay. So I went out and there was a sizable group of people, a mob, yelling, "Hey, hey, ho, ho, Zinni Abraham has got to go." I'm thinking, So I stepped outside and I quickly realized they had no idea, even though the Oakland Police brought me outside, they didn't accept that I was Zinni Abraham. Seriously. They were just so busy cheering, they weren't realizing that I was Zinni Abraham. So I thought, you know what? I'll just cheer with them. So I just got down there, I'm yelling, "Hey, hey, ho, ho, Zinni Abraham has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Zinni Abraham has got to go." So at the end of that sort of nonsense, I jumped up on the steps and I said, "Hey, everybody, I'm Zinni Abraham." Because they expected someone white. I kid you not. Yeah. And most of them were black. Think about it. Okay. So Alex Greenwood, who is the City of Oakland Economic Development representative in charge of the project, and I first tried to bring them up, and then we eventually got the city council chambers open so that Alex could talk to them, because they were not nice to Alex because he was like, the white professional staff guy. All right. It's just the mentality. All right. So I thought, you know what? Let Alex do that. And I can just simply go on and literally clean up the room. And that's what happened. But Buna China was the head of BOSS. And I forgot what the BOSS stood for. She's still around, although I've never met her in person. I remember prior to this meeting, she had called me the same day. I said, we demand to come to your meeting. I said, "Well, ma'am, it's not that kind of organization. It's a task force. And it's not, and our issue is not about homelessness." And it wasn't. It was about building a bus transfer stop. It wasn't about building affordable housing, or I think for me, getting money to those people who don't have it so they can pay their bills to live, which is the real reason why we have homelessness, because they don't have enough money. I don't care what you say. You got to give money to people who don't have it. Wealth transfer. So naturally, of course, her being her, she took what I said the wrong way. And of course, naturally, me being me, I probably expressed it in a way that I could have been more magnanimous, but it was so last minute, I didn't know what it was like. Hey, what's going on here? So I didn't see that coming. But the whole point is, we did solve our problem. That's a task force. Okay. We got our job done. Was it smooth? Yeah, by and large, it was. Was the publicity worth it? Yes, it was. Because it proved that a task force to bring the right people together at the right time with food, and with a plan can work. And all I'm saying is, with respect to the JPA, that's what the JPA needs. And I'm really concerned when Councilmember Kaplan and others are saying, "Oh, well, we're going to get this. We know you have other things to do." There should be nothing more important than the maintenance and management and future of the Oakland-Alameda County Coliseum complex. See, when I hear the JPA say that, what Rebecca said on behalf of the people who were there and then also not there, I'm thinking, you know what? Our future does not have a good look. Okay. Just doesn't have a good look. That's sad. All right, folks, I'm gone. Been out for an hour. Subscribe to Zenny62. We'll see you.